go. Okay, so we have Molly, Meg, and Michelle. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Pretty good. This meeting will be more fun than the budget meeting, which is next.
Presumably. Is it apple? Oh, hope I can stay awake for this meeting.
Did you have a long day?
Feeling groggy. No, I'm actually on vacation right now, so it's been an easy day.
Oh, where are you?
In Michigan.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, went to an apple orchard today.
Lovely.
That was fun.
And Michelle,
Yeah.
I wanted to thank you for volunteering to do the Middleton Area Historical Society newsletter.
Oh, word got out, huh?
Yes.
Yeah, I think I'm starting that at the beginning of the year. I met with Mary and started kind of going over some things. So I'm a little vague on what I'm supposed to be doing. Hopefully, once I get the documents, it'll fall into place for me.
And I hope you enjoy it.
Yeah, I think so. I like history, so I thought it was a good fit. Plus, I'll get to learn a lot more about Middleton that way.
Yes.
Well, then I want to sign up for it when you're ready. Because I want to learn more too.
I'll tell Jeff to add you to the mailing list.
I would love that.
I think they just came out with a new issue today. I can forward it to you, Katie.
Oh, yeah, I think I got a
That would be
note.
great. Thank you.
I'm surprised you're not on their list already, Katie.
I know, I'm pretty irresponsible.
I just figured, they automatically make city council people subscribe to it.
I don't know why we don't. Maybe it's just because they know we get all kinds of other stuff too.
Oh, I'm sure you get inundated with stuff.
Yeah. I don't know about Abby, but I'm going to try to be like eating dinner at the same time because we go right from this meeting to another. So I apologize and won't have cameras of me chewing.
That's okay. I see Erin and I see Maria. Hello.
Hello.
We do have a quorum. I know Kendra also said she would make it, and Christina said she could make it, but not until 5:15. I didn't hear from Srisha. So we do have a quorum. We can get started if you want, Michelle.
Sure. All right. Well, shall we start with minutes from last month's meeting? Does anybody have any comments or questions about that?
I can motion to approve.
I'll
Okay.
second.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
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 All right. So Next is Christina leaving our committee, so why don't we save that until she actually is on? And skip down to budgetary priorities. We had previously talked about wrapping the utility boxes, and actually Maria got some information for us about how much that might cost. Do you want to talk about that, Maria?
Yeah, I sent the email. I don't have the email open with me, Abby. I don't know if you have that with cost estimates, but you have to figure out the square footage to be able to get a better estimate of how much it would cost it in Middleton. Is it just one that we're doing here?
We're trying to do 10.
Oh, 10. Are they all the same size?
No, they're all different.
Oh, so that's something that will need to get measured then to get a better or I don't know if the company does that for you, the printer.
We have measurements for 14 of them. An intern went out and did an inventory.
Oh,
I mean, they're kind of rough, you know, he just used like a tape measure.
Yeah.
But for now, I mean, the budget's already submitted. We're requesting $20,000. And we're just going based on an estimate, but also with the disclaimer that it can be scaled up or down.
Oh, okay. That's great.
So here's the email. Oh, yeah, here's the email.
I was just gonna ask, did we average that at 2,000 each, right?
Yes.
That was how we came with that figure.
Yes. And so that was based on a $600 stipend for the artist, and what we had estimated would be about $1,400 per utility box. And Karen gave a pretty wide range here, but it's probably because the cost is going to depend on how many you order, because you're going to get a bulk buying discount. But let's say we don't get a bulk buying discount and we're going with 1,400 divided by the high end 70, that would be a 20 square foot box, which I think is, you know, that's actually probably pretty close to what they're going to be. If you think about like, you know, a 4 foot tall box, and it's going to have 4 sides and a top. And let's say it's, I don't know, this math might get a little complicated, but let's say it's 4 by, well, it's not going to get too complicated. 4 by 2, 2 feet wide and 4 foot tall plus the top. I mean, that's about 20, right? That's almost, I think that might be exactly 20 actually. So I think we're right in line with what she had estimated. And I don't think we need to really finalize all the details until we find out if we're getting the budget.
Mm-hmm.
When did they tell you that? Or when do we find out?
Well, I'm presenting it at 6.
Oh.
Well, I'm the 3rd department, so it'll be a little later. So I'll get at least initial feedback from the budget committee, the finance committee tonight. I am going to offer up that if they don't feel comfortable funding it with the capital budget, that they could move it over to the TIF District 3 budget. And in that case, we would just need to make sure that all the boxes are located within TIF District 3. But TIF District 3 covers most of Parmenter Street. It covers the whole downtown. So I think we would have quite a few options still.
So just so we're all on the same page, each of the utility boxes would have a unique design, correct? Just like Madison. So I actually don't know if the printer would give you a bulk discount because they have to set them all up separately.
Oh, that's a good point.
But maybe they will, just because it's a big project and they'll want it. So that means each artist is going to get, each utility box will have $600 reward, right? That's what we're saying.
Yeah,
So
that was just kind of my estimate.
So 600 times 10 boxes. So we're talking about 6,000 for the artist. So then that leaves us 14,000 for printing. Is that what we said? Okay.
And some of them are smaller. We should note that that's, some of them are smaller boxes and they will not be cost as much.
And it
think-
looks like she also notes that the condition of the box can have an indication on what the price would be too.
Hmm. Maybe if it's not in good condition, it takes longer to install.
So
Well, I think we could at least get like 8 if we don't get the 10.
Well, and I think, we're projecting 10, but if we run out of money before then we, can just do as many as we can manage.
Mhm.
This is something that's been on our to-do list for many years.
Mhm.
What do the rest of you think? Is this a project that you feel we should move forward with?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we get the budget. approved.
Right.
Mhm.
I may have missed this since I missed the last 2 meetings with running the summer fun stuff, and then we had an alternate meeting in July. What, do we have like artists already selected for this?
Mm-mm.
no,
Okay.
we would need to do a request for proposals, and I'll make sure to let the council know that we'll request proposals. We'll be buying one-time rights to the artwork. So it doesn't mean the artist can't sell the work elsewhere. And for like a painter, there are several boxes in Madison where it's a painting and then it's just an image, a photograph of the painting, and that's what gets wrapped on the box.
Cool.
And then we'll want to have a little like built-in plaque, so we don't have to create plaques for them. So we'll just have like the built-in, this is sponsored by the Middleton Arts Committee. And then the artist's name.
Well, if we can get the budget, I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, I think this would be a lot of fun. I really hope we're able to get the funding.
And I would love to see us take it off of our plate also, because it's been something that's been on there for a long time.
Does
Yeah,
it
and
make sense
actually-
at all to, I'm sorry, Abby, does it make sense at all to scale back on instead of 10? Or are we pretty sure that it's going to be fine budget wise?
Well, I don't know. I don't know how the council and the finance committee will react on the budget request, but if it starts looking like they're concerned about the cost, I could, I could offer, like, we could scale it up or scale it down. We could maybe only do 5.
Yeah. I say do that and be able to shoot from the hip and just say, okay, we say 6 or whatever.
Right.
We check with,
If that sounds right to people.
I think we should shoot for the 10, but if they're not going to go for a $20,000 budget, I agree with Katie that we should offer to scale it down. I think, weren't there 14 total that we had identified?
There were 14 that we had inventoried and measured. Also, just wanted to note that Kendra and Srija have both joined. Christina is still not on the meeting.
Okay.
are there competitive companies that offer the coverings?
We'll need to get bids or at least competitive proposals. We'll have to seek that out. We won't just be able to go to one company. So probably when we're ready to go about this, I'll probably reach out to Karen at the City of Madison again and get her list of who she's sending it out to, because it looks like they've been bidding it, and that would probably be the easiest way to go. And maybe add if there's any Middleton companies that would do it, we would want them to be included on the list too.
And so are we just then planning on Middleton artists only? Are we going to open this up to other artists as well? Or do we want to play it by ear and see how many people we have that are interested in creating artwork from Middleton? What do you guys think?
Why don't we discuss that at a future meeting if it gets approved?
After we learn if we've gotten the budget?
Yeah, since we're on a time constraint today.
Okay, I'm okay with that.
So, okay, So the budgets, I asked Abby to put the budget on the agenda because Maria had brought it up last meeting that we had a lot of things kind of building up and we needed to figure out what our priorities were. So I kind of added up, well, I added up what we spent for the things this summer, which was not that much actually. We have a lot left in the budget for this year, which we should totally use, like $35,000. We should use that.
3,500.
Sorry, 35. Yeah, I wish it was 35,000. What do we do with ourselves? But we should totally use that before December because otherwise it goes away. So we have the youth center, which will be some money. I can't remember how much we had agreed to.
500, was that what we budgeted?
500, okay.
I think so.
And if we're doing the art walk next year, if we're committing to it, we have to do an ad. And I want to say it was due around Thanksgiving. Is that right, Abby?
For the art guide, the regional art guide. Yeah, we missed the Middleton visitors guide. They did say if you have something, if you get a date together and a location, that they would maybe be able to fit it in, but not a lot of detail at this point.
Okay. Do you recall how much that ad was by chance for Travel Wisconsin?
Oh gosh, no, let me see if I can pull it up though.
It's fine. We can just estimate like $500. I'm sure it's not more than that, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't think so.
It was probably like 2 or something. Okay.
I was going to suggest too that our newspaper, in conjunction with a bunch of places around southern Wisconsin, does a guide called the Driftless Explorer. And that is a vacation guide that goes out to, it goes as far west as Dubuque, just short of Iowa, and then up into Madison. So it kind of covers the whole Driftless area. And that will be coming up soon as well, if we're interested in advertising in that, but that might be a good option for us as well. And we do it in conjunction with other publications, and it's a free guide. So it gets put into restaurants and different places around southern Wisconsin. And I don't have any idea on pricing on that. That's not my department. So, but that's an option for us too, if we wanted to target that area.
Mm-hmm. So if we estimate that we're going to do some ads, maybe they're 500, probably not even that much, but we can overestimate. And then the youth center thing, possibly 500, that's still probably over what we'll need. We still have $2,500 to spend before the end of the year. So I don't know.
Are scholarships coming out of that, Meg?
No, because that will be next spring. So I don't know how we would do that this year.
Got it.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna have trouble spending the money next year if we are going to keep doing some of these events like Good Neighbor Fest and if the pop-up fund continues next year, plus the art walk, we'll probably spend all of our money pretty quickly.
Can we budget a little bit more? Sorry, my laptop died right before I joined, so I don't have video, but can we budget a little bit more to maybe hire local artists to do some teaching for the youth center stuff? Is there any, like, do we want to think about expanding that program?
Well, we haven't even started it yet. So, and the
Yeah.
details are still a little fuzzy. So I don't think that we need to, I don't know that we need to budget more for that. But we do have those white panels
That's
that
exactly.
the mayor has been chomping at the bit to get done.
Do you think that would be feasible if we all approved that as the project? Would it be feasible to get find an artist, pay an artist, and get it installed by the end of the year? That's pretty soon.
Well, we could pay the artist before the end of the year. There's nothing saying we can't pay the artist if we find one.
What about?
Well,
Brett?
let's see, we're in September, so we've got 4 months essentially. 3.5.
To do what panels?
There are some white panels outside of the senior center. And Gurdeep has
Oh.
been really wanting us to do something with those panels. And every time I see him, every time Meg sees him, he brings up these white panels and how he wants them to, you know, he would like the arts committee to take on a project with these panels. And I think they're removable, right, Abby?
I don't know. I would assume so. I don't know even what material they are. We might want to consult with Megan Mackey if we're going to do something, just to make sure that it would last and look nice, because it would probably be very expensive to have them recreated if that were the only option.
How long would they be up?
Indefinitely. I mean, we don't.
I feel like that's a project that's gonna require a little bit more planning and time.
Yeah, that's, I mean, not to say you couldn't pay someone before the end of the year, but
What about Brian Strasberg and cartooning? Would that work?
Or what about if we did a call for artists?
Yeah, I think that's a better idea. Give a lot of people a chance. It also gets our name out more.
Mhm.
I mean, it kind of does look like a cartoon strip, like the little
Mhm.
rectangles. So that could actually be really cute. I like the idea.
Mhm.
We do
But
need
we
to
probably
find out
would
what
have-
the material is though. Is there-
Yeah, and we'd probably have to make it competitive, I think.
Is there a way we can find that out? Who would we ask?
Well, we could dig up the plans from when it was renovated. This building is actually owned by the CDA, so we'd probably need to get their permission too, but I'm sure they'd be supportive.
Abby, what was the original reason for the panels?
Just an architectural feature.
Okay, weird.
Besides the panels, are there any other projects that we should consider too, or is this the only other pending project?
We have so many.
Yeah, we've got
How
a
do you
list.
choose
Do we
them?
have like a list somewhere
go
that
to
we
our-
can prioritize or?
Oops, sorry.
Well, we have the addendum to the master plan that has some of it listed.
I'll pull it up.
We talked about doing those stencils, the sidewalk stencils, in
Mhm.
conjunction with the Historical Society. We talked about doing more of those haiku warning signs with the high school. What else do we have? Obviously, we all want more murals. We could even do window. If we need to just like do some projects really quickly, maybe we could do business windows like Maria had suggested in the past.
The downtown businesses are hiring Emily Balsley to do a temporary window display in downtown Middleton. I just found out about that yesterday.
Oh, cool. Oh, and then there's also, I don't know if we can even do this, but I'd emailed just Abby and Michelle about it, but we have that recycling center sign at the green space right now. And I thought it'd be kind of cool if we made it into a mural, and then it could be like a moving mural. So like when Stonehurst Green is being constructed, you can move it to City Hall, or if we have an event, we can move it to the event. But I don't know if it has other uses.
The downtown businesses asked me to leave it there because they wanted to use it as a posting board, but I don't even know if anybody's posted anything on it.
Mm.
I mean, in Stonehorse Glen,
Stonehorse Green.
Green, okay, yes. that's-
I'm
that's-
wondering for the art, have we decided if we're doing the art walk? We have, yes, right? We are doing it.
Some version of an art walk. We don't really have any details ironed out. Some,
The reason I ask is because last time I was new, so I forget the person, she was actually working for the arts committee. What was her name?
Anna and Gurley.
Yeah, wasn't she getting paid a little bit to kind of help and take that project on?
Yes, she
And
was.
I'm wondering if that is something that we would want to consider, also maybe paying somebody to, as a part-timer, to kind of take on a project like that takes so much time and planning.
but that would also be next year's budget, I think.
Unless she started planning for it, or he, or they. started planning for it ahead of time, right? Started to get everything together.
Which if you're gonna start advertising for it, probably should happen pretty soon.
Yeah, so like it's something that could start being planned
Well,
now.
the deadlines are early, but the publications don't actually come out until next year.
Abby, when do you find out about your part-time employee?
I'm presenting that tonight too, so I'll find out at least an initial read from the finance committee and council if they support it.
Okay, so we should know potentially before Thanksgiving whether you'll have a part-time employee for next year.
Yeah, the budget will be finalized in November, so we'll know for sure. We'll know before that because they usually have it pretty well hammered out. There are just a few last minute changes.
Okay, and we would be able to utilize them if we did the art walk downtown.
That's correct.
Okay, so that might be enough then, I think, because Rhiannon only worked part-time too, right?
Yeah, she was only, I don't know, I think like 15 hours, 20 hours a week. But this was her main project. She did help us with some other things as well.
Let's go back to the white panels for a second. Do you think it would be possible to get the CDC to help us financially with that project? Do you think that's something that they would be interested in?
Possibly, yes, because the mayor also is the chair of the CDA.
Oh, CDA, and I said CDC.
But they've already, I mean, I'm presenting their budget requests for next year tonight. So I don't know if there's a line within their budget where they could shift the funds. They might, I mean, there is an event, there's a marketing line in their budget for 7,500 and there's an event sponsorship line for 7,500. So they might be willing to make the determination that this project would fit into one of those and help fund it.
Okay. Should we then table this until the next meeting?
Give people time to think about it. We had, well, when I first joined the committee, and I don't know when this happened, but we had so many projects going on that at one point in time, everyone like voted on their like top 5 or something like that. Do you remember that, Abby?
Yeah.
I wonder if it would be helpful if we figured out like maybe the top 3 and then we sent out a poll and the committee could vote on what their favorite one was. And then we just focus on that for the rest of the year.
I like that idea.
It should be from the master plan because we've already done that. Voting via email is not allowed under the open records law, but you could send me your favorite. I could tally it and then I could present it at the next meeting and then you could take action.
Okay.
Are
So
you guys in favor of that?
Yeah, I like that idea.
should we determine what the top 3 are right now? And then send Abby an email? Is that how we should proceed?
Which one is the ripple effects? What's that?
That's the drains.
The stormwater drains in
Oh, okay.
downtown.
And that's working with Dama again.
Probably, I would think it would be.
Well, that's in the completed category though, so those are already.
Oh,
completed.
okay. It's the 1 to 5 years that we're looking at and 5 plus.
Yeah, well, this doesn't have everything on it because they're all kind of chunked out. And so you can ignore the wrapping utility boxes because that will come out of a different budget. The Stonehorse Green is going to come out of a different budget.
Oh, okay.
The crosswalk thing, I believe, is coming from somewhere else too. So do we have all of these on there? We have the sidewalk notes up there. Those were the stencils that we were going to work with the Historical Society on. So that could be one.
The stencils are the ones for the windows?
No, that was the ones that would be on the sidewalk. That would be kind of like a walking
Oh, yeah.
a
yeah.
walking
Like a
trail
tour.
downtown, and you could be like in front of that house that's by Molly's that used to be the post office, and the stencil would be like,
Yes.
in
Mhm.
1936, this used to be the post office or whatever. We'd have to work with the historical society.
Okay. Mhm.
We don't have those white panels on here, Abby. So does that mean we can't have that as one of the?
Oh, no, I think you could add it. I was just thinking like, in order to direct the conversation, we should maybe use the master plan as a starting point.
Okay. So I guess we could do the white panels, sidewalk notes, historical. Somebody threw out another idea.
And this is just, we're trying to figure out how to use up the budget.
Mhm,
Not
we have to
internet, okay.
prioritize.
Is
Mhm.
there any opportunity to kind of continue the summer fun things, like a fall fun? I have a lot of parents ask if we were doing any kind of continuation of that. I know there's the like 1 a month type of projects, but I don't know if there is any opportunity to.
I'm not sure where we would do it, especially once it starts getting cold out.
What about
um,
some, are they doing anything with like the holidays downtown? I know with COVID, it's probably not, who knows, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's
the-
a that holiday tree lighting event that the recreation department organizes. I think that's still going on.
yeah, we could do something there.
I don't know, I know that Parks and Rec has certain days that like shelters are not rented out. So like Lakeview's got the indoor outdoor option. Just an idea, if there's a day of the week that it's like rarely ever rented, people can use it from the public. So we might be able to talk to them and see.
Or is there a way to partner with the Parks and Rec on some of the days the schools are closed?
Yeah, that'd be a good idea. I bet.
You know, I don't know if they
Yeah.
do
I bet
projects.
Rebecca
or
would be
like-
all over that.
Yeah, just to have something.
Mm,
I mean, again, that's not like it uses a bunch of money though.
Mhm.
yeah, we can
So,
something big that's gonna use up about $2,500.
Do we
what is
need any t-shirts for any other events that we should print out now?
We still need to order some art smocks. We kind of tabled that since we didn't need them immediately. And we need to order Mike a t-shirt because the one we ordered for him was too small. I think that's it.
I like the idea about the out of school days though. We
Yeah,
can just reach out to her, because I mean, just knowing offhand that last Wednesday in September, there's that weird 5-day weekend over Halloween.
that could be a fun one.
Who are we going to get to facilitate that?
As far as actually like
We'll need
running it on the
we'll need
days, I could,
volunteers to work that, and that seems to be one of our biggest challenges at the moment.
Is it, I mean, if the high schoolers are gonna be out too, are there high school art? I mean, we can brainstorm this too. I'm
Yeah.
again cognizant of time. It's already 5:30, but we could brainstorm things like reaching out to the high school art classrooms,
yeah,
middle school art classrooms for assistance and
yeah.
thing.
I'd be happy to volunteer, because I mean, I'm gonna have to be home anyways with my
right.
5 and 7-year-olds, so bring them along.
Yep.
Abby, how long did it take you guys to do those warning signs, the haikus?
That took a while because of the involvement with the students, because the way we worked it is we had the English class write the haikus first.
Mhm.
Then they displayed the haikus in the high school in that art room that they had. I don't know if they still have. And then the graphic design students came and looked at all the haikus, picked which one they wanted to make a design for. They developed the designs, and then we had to vote on which ones. And some of them were like the same haiku with different designs for it. So it took some time. Plus, anytime you want to get into the curriculum for the district, it takes a lot of advance notice because they plan out so far.
Mhm. Okay, so not that one.
What if we did something, some kind of performance art thing? What if we hosted a performance because we haven't done much of that.
It would have to be outdoor right now because of COVID.
Okay, so for our three, how about we do, these are what you're voting on. You can totally disagree with me. The whiteboards outside of the senior center is one. A fall fun event or series of events that includes some sort of a performance, maybe at Lakeview Park, or the sidewalk notes with the Historical Society. Does that sound good?
But not the haiku street signs?
No, because it sounds like that takes more than 3 months
Okay,
to spend it by the end of the year, or we lose it.
Well, do
I
the
think
side note, it seems like sidewalk notes won't take $2,500, will they?
No, but we could probably stretch it, like maybe we want to do a map in conjunction with it. And we'll print some maps, or I feel like we could expand on that a little bit more.
How weather sensitive are those?
They're gonna be just like the ripple effects. They'll end up fading over time.
Can we paint them though when it's cold
Snowy?
out?
I think as long as it's above freezing.
It's just regular spray paint, right, Meg?
Yeah, that might be challenging. Cause I think
What's
we have to do it by like mid-November.
Sorry, guys, what's the Find the Cardinals? I'm trying to pull up the plan tonight. Because that could be a cool winter thing.
I think that was something that Michael had suggested, right? Where there were cardinals scattered, like a scavenger hunt kind of thing.
Yeah, because that could be a fun winter thing, because you could do red cardinals up and they'd stick out in the snow. And it's a good like downtown walking thing.
We could like order some cast iron cardinals and hide them all throughout the city or something.
That could be cool.
We could give prizes for the person who finds the most.
I think it's a little bit of a
Like the biggest
variation on
black
his
box.
original idea though, because he was talking about hiring an artist to like create little cardinal things that would be placed on like street signs, just like kind of placed around town, but that would,
Yeah.
yeah.
I like that idea too. I was thinking it was like that thing that Phil had showed us from like Nashville, and they were like, it wasn't Nashville, it was some town he went to, and there were like little cast iron mice scattered throughout the town. Do you remember that?
Oh,
Yes, that was really
Thought it
cool.
was really fun.
I like ideas supporting artists, money going back to artists.
Totally
They've been
agree.
hurt way too much by COVID. And it would be a great thing for them to get supported through something.
That's an option too, for with the youth stuff as like a combination idea. You could hire a different artist like for different mediums to teach the different youth things. And that way you could kind of hit, I know we talked about this before, but you know, the different age groups too, where someone for like graphic design, that's more like middle school and high school, right? Like
Youth center
elementary.
is all middle school. So if we do something with the youth center, that's all middle school students.
Oh, I meant as far as, yeah, with like doing this other stuff on days that school's out, you know, in addition to the youth center stuff. We probably want to talk to Rebecca to determine feasibility if we're going to partner with anything for Parks and Rec. Because I know when I met with Matt and Rebecca this summer to talk about doing this kind of larger program at Lakeview next summer, you know, they need time to background check any volunteers and things like that. So you want me to reach out to her just to see what feasibility and availability would be for that?
I was at Brian Strasberg's house last night, and he said that he was wanting to teach a cartooning to youth.
That would be awesome.
And he was trying to find a location, you know, he was wondering where he could do it.
Oh, cool. That'd be
What
great.
about- What do you guys think about doing like an art day camp during winter break?
That would be cool, just COVID, not knowing you know, obviously it's gonna have to be indoors. It'd be awesome if we could make it work, but not knowing where COVID is going was my only kind of concern.
Well, that's true, but I think, you know, I mean, we're all kind of going about our business now, right? We're all masked up in the county and we're inside with one another. And when we go and do this stuff at the youth center, we're gonna be inside. So I mean, I don't know that that will inhibit us necessarily if we have everybody wearing a mask.
I guess maybe I'm in the minority here, but I would strongly recommend against doing anything on winter break because I just feel like it's always so busy with like family stuff and holiday. And plus, I know at least for us, like we would probably be like very strict around that time because we're going to go visit our families. So we wouldn't want any extra exposure. And I'm guessing other people feel like that too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I
what's
agree. I think. Go ahead, sorry.
Sorry, I was gonna say, we're running out of time here, so.
Yeah.
3, would we?
So
I'm
we have-
sorry, I'm
we
not
have,
trying to like
I think
limit what
what-
you're discussing here, but we are, we've got 20 minutes left, so.
Is everyone okay with those 3 options that I said before? Voting on whiteboards, sidewalk notes, or a series of fall events that would include performance, like the pop-up fun, but in the fall.
Yeah.
Does that sound good?
Okay, so do we need to vote on this?
Can I just add one last idea? And
Sure.
sorry, with the white panels, this is a bit of I got an idea from a project that's going on in Janesville, but they had different artists do different pieces of a jigsaw puzzle. So what if it could be an easy way to spend a ton of money right away, hire whatever number of panels, 6 panels, 6 artists, each one makes a piece of a jigsaw puzzle. They're never going to look like they're touching, and they don't necessarily have to be of one thing. It's just another idea for getting that budget spent so it's ours and we don't lose that money.
Well, I
But
think
you
we
can
can,
still vote on the panels though, still.
yeah, and I think we can discuss details of that later.
Yeah.
Because we don't really have an idea of what we're doing there. We're just, I mean, it's just an option at this point.
Right.
Okay. So I think we can move on then, or?
Do we need to vote on this, Abby?
I don't think so. I'll just send the options out to you all and then you can reply back and let me know your first, second, third choice, and then I'll compile that for the next meeting.
Okay.
Great.
Christina's on.
Hi, Christina.
Should we go back to number 1?
Yes, let's.
Christina's leaving us. She warned us when she joined though, that it was limited.
Where are you going to school?
University of Edinburgh, Scotland.
Oh my gosh.
When do you start?
I have to do some online stuff starting in October, end of the month, and then because their COVID rules are different than ours, so January I'll fly over and move over there full time.
It's the most beautiful
congratulations.
city I've ever been. I'm so jealous of you.
I've never been there. I've never been to Scotland. I'm literally picking up my entire life and moving to another country that I've never been to. I have no idea what possessed me to do any of this, but I'm very excited. So we'll see.
That is exciting.
What are you studying again?
It's a master's in art history,
Oh, okay.
Fun.
but it's kind of like, why not take it from a university that's older than my country? So it makes more sense to study there than here, and it's cheaper, believe it or not.
I believe it.
Yeah.
I just friended you on Facebook so I can live through you vicariously.
Well, thank you for volunteering your time for the arts. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yes, it's been a pleasure.
We might have to shoot you questions every now and then because you have good expertise.
Sure. Yeah, anytime. That makes total sense.
All right, should we go on to 3, Michelle? Good Neighbor Fest?
Sure. Yeah, Abby has a picture I sent to her and Meg of the finished canvas. I went and picked it up yesterday. I'm also going to go grab a quick thank you note we got. I can find it. Okay, we got a thank you note to the Arts Committee that was sent to my office. It says, thank you for coming to the Middleton Good Neighbor Fest with the Community Art Project. This is from Christy. I didn't get a chance to see the end result, but I sure loved observing the process. It's folks like you who bring fun activities to the grounds for free, that keep our guests entertained and keeps the money in the coffers of our nonprofits. I hope that you all will do this again. That is from Christy Werner.
That's cool.
Can you all see my screen with the image or the photograph of the picture? Okay.
Just a small one.
Just a thumbprint.
The thumbnails.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? Okay, oopsie. I had made it bigger, but I think I need to share again. There we go. You see it?
Oh, how fun.
And so it looked a little more graffiti-y before Lindsay cleaned it up. So that is what our community came up with, and it's going to be going into the library next week, and it'll be there until the 1st of November. And then I'm hoping to get it moved to the senior center for a few weeks after that.
Do we have like a little, not printing like a whole plaque, but using the same design as the plaque and just kind of explaining it on paper that we could put with it?
Yeah, I can do that.
And also, you can't see it in this image, but around the edge of the canvas, she's written Good Neighbor Festival all around the edge of the canvas.
Oh.
So that is the update. I think it was successful in spite of the heat. It was very hot that day. When Kendra and I were there from 3 to 5, we had what, 4 or 5 people, 6 people maybe. Or I know that you all earlier in the day were much busier with folks, but once it got hot in the afternoon, it was kind of put the kibosh on that. So, but people loved it. The people that worked on it liked it. So
They did.
I have more ideas for next year if we do it again, but we can share that another
oh,
time.
good.
Since we're running out of time.
Okay, so that's pretty much our update on the Good Neighbor Fest.
You want to go on to item number 4?
Sure.
Okay, so this is the update on the out of the shell roundabout letters and responses. So we mailed letters out on July 28th to let donors to the project know that we were pulling the plug based on what we heard from the DOT. And we sent one letter to the general donors, which had a deadline of August 31st for a response. And we had one letter that just went to the Middleton Community Endowment because they had done the larger fundraising campaign initiative. And that letter did not have a deadline associated with it. And we heard back from 3 individual donors. The deadline now has passed. Actually, I'm gonna say 4. The Conheims replied and they said that we should use their donation for future acquisition of public art. Same with Mike Davis, my boss. Pelletary Waste Systems replied back and said we can use it for any project at our discretion. And then Bergstrom called and they had some questions about it. And then I've called back and we haven't been able to connect. So if they were to decide that they wanted to get their $500 back, I think we maybe should still honor it because they did reach out before the August 31st, but I don't know if that's what they're going for. I think it's actually like the donation was from Ballweg and they received the letter because they are now the new Ballweg Chevrolet, they're Bergstrom now. So I don't know if it was just more of a clarification, but I haven't been able to touch base with the contact there. And then the last one was the Middleton Community Endowment. That's the larger initiative. That one is a little bit more complicated because they reached out to the Madison Community Foundation, and the Madison Community Foundation recommended that they reach out to all the individuals who had donated to the project. So they did do that. And I got a lot of emails and I've been responding and linking out to the art master plan. So I think we need to wait still on the community endowment to make sure that we can keep all of those funds for future public art or whatever it is, whatever it may be. That's update.
Okay, so if we get all of it, it's like $12,000. Is that what it was?
Yeah, it's around 12,000 total,
Okay.
8,000 of which is the community endowment.
Okay. So basically at a future meeting, we need to come up with at least a way to spend some of that money, because we've already heard back from some people. So it
Yeah.
needs to be like a sculpture or something like that.
Well, I'll show you the letter, how we wrote it. I should have kept this pulled up. I'm sorry, guys.
While you're pulling that up, can I ask, will that money have a deadline? Or does
That
it
is
sit
in a non-lapsing fund, so it
Okay.
does not expire out. Okay. So the way that we worded it is, here are a few options that are worthy of your consideration. Acquisition of public art, including ongoing projects such as artwork in the Stonehorse Green. And I kind of think that this might be a good one for the Middleton Community Endowment to redirect their funds, because their contribution, they could actually get a donor plaque, like a larger plaque that would recognize the community endowment. Preservation of public art in the existing collection, or scholarships to assist young artists with post-secondary education.
Ooh, that would be good. So we could, the ones who said that they didn't care how we spent it, we could save some of it for like the scholarships and then spend the rest possibly on Stonehorse Green.
Yeah, I would think the ones who said that they didn't care, we could spend it however we want. And also the ones who didn't reply at all, I think we could probably also spend that how we wanted. Yeah.
That's good to know.
Well, that's good news.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay,
I
do
like
we
good
need to do
news.
anything else on this matter?
Nope.
Do we have enough time? What are we at? 10
We're on
minutes.
item 5.
Well, I don't think we have a marketing and communication update. Do we, Michelle?
No, I don't think so.
We can
We're
skip
kind
that.
of in a lull right now.
Okay. Do you want to discuss the high site tour?
I'm just gonna say real quick, I'm trying to set up a tour of High Sight's art collection. They have a large art collection. I met their CEO last week and I put a bug in his ear that we want to come out and do a tour. So I'm hoping that I'll be able to make that come to fruition here in the next couple months. I just wanted to throw that in there because we've talked about that previously.
You know who else has a really large art collection? Epic. If we're
Yeah.
doing tours, I mean, it's like massive.
That would be fun. I could see where 5 of my paintings have ended up in Epic then.
That would be so cool.
They
Judy's
have
got some.
some really I don't want to say big artists, but they have some more pricey pieces of work. Their owner is very involved in the arts. They have donated to Stonehorse Green. And I think that in the future, we probably can build a relationship with them further. But I did see a portion of their artwork when they held their open house, when the building first opened. And I just saw a small portion of it. Now they have more in there. So I just wanted to bring that up and say that that's something that I'm working on. And once I get that worked out, then I can throw out some dates and we can discuss a time that'll work for everybody.
Yeah, and High Site sponsored the largest piece of art in the Stonehorse Green for 150,000.
Mhm. So that's all I have on that. I just wanted to bring that up quick.
Since we're kind of running out of time, Or actually, never mind. Keep going, Michelle.
Well, let's move on to the other discussion I had the same day with tourism with Julie Peterman. Julie, so I have this grandiose vision of turning the old quarry into an amphitheater. And every time I drive by it, I think about it, and I have told Abby about this and Meg about this, about my desire to turn this into an amphitheater someday and start a capital campaign for that. Julie said that she feels that tourism would be able to do a feasibility study that they would pay for if we wanted to partner with them on this project. At
That's
least
the one behind Vern's Auto Body?
it's out on 14, right next to where
Oh,
C is going in.
Yeah, that's still an operating quarry. It's 60 acres of land. But I know why Katie's getting mixed, because Katie and I have been talking about an outdoor, like spring green type, but on a smaller scale, theater in the quarry area behind the Quarry Skate Park on Terrace Avenue.
Nope, this is different.
So wait, which one's the working one still, Abby?
the one
The
Michelle's
one-
talking about.
Yeah, the Bakken Quarry on Pleasant View Road and Highway 14. It's actually not even in the city of Middleton yet. It's in the town of Middleton. They have 60 acres, but they are quarrying that still.
So like in the future, they're not going to be, or what are we discussing?
She's thinking
They are
that
not quarrying that segment. That area is farmland right now in front of it.
in front of it, okay.
And so on the Highway 14 facing side, it butts up against the golf course and CXC.
Yes.
The conversation that I had with Julie Peterman, we were discussing about how that could be another destination. Actually, when I told her that I thought that would make a great amphitheater, she said that she had also been thinking about this. And what a good fit it would be with the golf course and CXC right there. And, you know, because as a destination, plus it's close to hotels and restaurants. But you know, I guess I'm of the feeling that if tourism wants to help us by funding a feasibility study, we don't really have anything to lose.
Right.
So
you know.
this is privately owned land,
Mhm.
and we would have to be very, very careful, because this family has said that they want to continue to operate this quarry.
And this is something, we know the land's gonna be expensive. The land acquisition would be expensive. This would require long-term planning, like we're talking 5 or 10 years of planning probably to make this come to fruition. So this is very much in its infancy. This is very much in the idea stage. But I just did want to throw it out there because it took CXC from the time that they had the idea to the time that they broke ground, 10 years from the time Yuri had the idea. And so I feel like, you know, maybe we approach the quarry owners first and we discuss with them if that's something that they would be willing to even do to sell that property before we work on a feasibility study. But I just wanted to throw it out there that tourism is willing to work with us if we want to partner with them, and they are willing. Julie thinks that they will be able out of their budget to fund a feasibility study if we choose to do so. So.
Well, that's good news because this other quarry is already owned by the city.
Yeah, will she do the feasibility study there instead?
Possibly. We have not talked about that area, but
And
that's.
this area is right across the street from Capitol Brewery, up the hill here.
Yeah, I mean, that's something that we could certainly talk to her about. But, you know, I think we're thinking on a bigger scale. We're thinking like large acts coming to Middleton, large concerts. And so, again, this idea is just that at this point. But I just did want to present it to the committee and let you know that that's something that Julie and I have been talking about, and we can bring it up again at another meeting. And I will certainly talk to her about the other quarry, old quarry, and see what she says about that.
I think we're gonna have to stop it there because Katie and I have to go to the budget meeting now.
And I think we made it mostly through the agenda, the arts, I'll just say quickly about the youth center. I have been in touch with Gabrielle. I have a contact for the person that works there. Dom Ricks is very excited about us doing a project and displaying it in the middle school once it's done. And so we can discuss that more later. What we are talking about doing first is a multi-canvas project that creates one larger image. So that's kind
Is
of
that starting next month, Michelle?
Yeah. Yep, probably toward the end of the month is when we're gonna be having we'll be there one day a month. And so it'll probably fall toward the end of the month, I'm guessing. I have not heard back from Gabrielle about dates. So. And we kind of talked about the panels already. So I think we pretty much hit on most everything here.
Yeah, in 1 hour. Good job.
Yeah, good job, everybody. Good job.
All right.
Right. Oh, we need a motion.
Have fun
and
at your budget meeting, ladies.
we need a vote to adjourn. I forgot.
Oh, yeah.
I will adjourn on the last meeting.
Oh.
Best wishes, Christina. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Hi.
Bye.
Bye.
Best
Good
of
night,
luck,
everybody.
Christina.
Bye.